Just a minute. It is, yeah, it's now able to see screen.
Okay. Okay, there are two ways to connect to a VM. One is via the IP address. The second one is via DNS name. So this is the classic. So the DNS name is also called as cloud service. When you want to connect to the classic VM, you can connect to the DNS name, so which is internally referred as cloud service, or to the virtual IP address, so VIP. So the virtual IP address is a random IP or a random public IP assigned from the pool of addresses which Azure has. So this address keep on changing when you power off and power on the VM. It's more of a virtual address, virtual allocation. So let me connect via the DNS name. Copy this name. You can click on connect button. It will download a remote desktop file for you, or you can just open MSTC and connect to the remote desktop. So remote desktop connection, and type this name and say enter. So as I said, the username will not be administrator. The username will be the name you given during the build process. So use a different account, username and password. So log into the VM1. The system is built and ready to be used. So with less than 15-20 minutes time, I'm able to get my system up and running. So it can be one machine, it can be one machine of small size or one machine of big size. Things will be ready in less than 15-20 minutes. It is asking whether the system should be discovered by network. I'm saying yes. So your system is ready with an IP address and C drive. So when you log into the machine, you can see a C drive and a temporary storage called as D drive. So the C drive is around 127 GB. Okay, that is your OS drive, and the temporary drive is, as it says, it's a temporary. So the data in the temporary drive will be used for your Azure purposes, some virtual memory settings or those things I want to store. Azure will store in the temporary drive. It is only for Azure and not for your purpose. Anything which you store in the D drive will be removed automatically at the reboot or at the end of the restart and reboot, restarting the system. So only C drive is the permanent drive, whereas the D drive is more of a temporary storage. So additionally, you can add another two drives. We'll try to discuss that when we discuss the storage. So the C drive of 127 GB, and you have the OS partition and everything installed. Now, how much and how it will be charged? As long as the VM is powered on, okay, as long as the VM is in the running state in the portal, okay, as long as it is in the running state, so the VM will be charged. Okay, the status of running, the VM will be charged. As long as it's in the running state. Okay, when you want to stop billing, so billing will be there. I can say billing rather than billing will be done as long as the VM is in running state. So now let me turn off the VM. Okay, there are two different ways to turn off a VM. One is from the OS level, one is from the Azure level. Even you turn off from the OS level. So let's assume that I turn off the VM from here. Start. So power, I can shut down from here. So even you shut down from here, the VM will still be charged. Let me stop from here. Shut down. It's time to shut down. Let's wait for a minute. So this VM will, from the running state, it will go into the stopped state, only stopped. Let's see. The states of the VMs. still running. Give it a minute. Okay, you can see that the VM is in the top state, but still the VM will be incurring charges. Click on the VM1. So the virtual machine is still incurring compute charges. To avoid these charges, your portal VM. So as long as you don't stop the VM from the portal, so you need to come here and click the stop button. So it will be charged to your account. So do you want to shut down the VM? Yes. So this virtual IP address should be released to the pool. So as long as this IP address is not released, it will be charged to your account. Let's see, it will come as stopped and deallocated like this. Then the VM billing will be completely stopped. So successfully shut down. So whether it's running or in the stopped state, billing will be done. Billing will be stopped when the VM is in stopped and deallocated state. Let's refresh. It's in the deallocated state, and you can see that the virtual IP address is released to the pool. So as long as this virtual IP address is not released, your VM will be charged. So any questions in the running states of the VM?
Fine, honey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Then there are two drives when you build a VM, C and D. C is a permanent drive or permanent storage, whereas a D is a temporary storage. So the D will be used only for your Azure services internally. Any data you save in D will be deleted at the restart bar, start and stop. Okay. And C by default the size is 1.
Yeah, actually, virtual machine. Say, suppose if you install any software, so how does the pricing affect? Say, if you're going to install any third-party software in the virtual machine.
So, VM Azure doesn't understand what you install inside the VM. It's up to you, or
Okay.
it's your job to
Okay.
make sure.
Okay. Okay. So as long as the virtual machine is on state, it will charge the price. But internally, if you install any software, it doesn't charge the software price for software.
It doesn't understand.
Okay.
Forget about charging.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So when you select a SQL plus Windows, then SQL price will be included as a part of your VM price.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if you install SQL at a later time, it doesn't understand.
so yeah. So basically, if you're
Then
going
it
for
is
this
your job to
project,
take care of the license of SQL.
yeah. That's what. So during the procurement stage, it's up to us to decide whether we need to go SQL plus VM or VM only and installing SQL later during the procurement stage.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
So in the first case, you are consuming the Azure license. In the second case, you're taking your own license.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now let's try to put a little bit of a pictorial view of this, how we are trying to connect. So so let's assume this is my Azure. And I have virtual machines built. Okay, classic VM. So these are classic VM. Okay. So in the classic VM, I'm trying to connect from them over internet. So let's assume this is my system. Okay. So from my system, I want to trying to connect to this classic VM. Okay. What I'm trying to do is, for every VM, there is a virtual IP address and a cloud service name. Okay, which is exposed over internet. So let's assume this is internet. Either this one or this one are exposed over internet. Okay, and I allowed only RDP port here. So this we call it as endpoint. Endpoint. So using this internet endpoint, I'm trying to connect from my on-premise system. Make sense?
Yeah. So specifically, that Azure should be out of the box, right? I mean, in the graph, in the diagram, just I want to.
Yeah, Azure
Azure
is
not
our
right.
subscription. Is our subscription which we purchased.
Okay.
It's my subscription. Oracle also is set as a Azure data center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions, Krishna?
Good.
Okay. Let's take a one more additional step now. So this is the basic thing. Now, so Azure doesn't guarantee any SLAs. Does not guarantee any SLAs for a single VM. What does that mean? What does that mean? So let's assume I installed a web page on this VM1. Okay, Azure doesn't guarantee that web page will be up and running 100% of the time. Then what is the SLA they are promising? Let's see. Azure.microsoft.com pricing. I want a Windows virtual machine. Support and SLA. Okay, guaranteed 99.95% connectivity for multiple instances. So it is saying that if you just only build one system, let's assume this is my web server, web page. Okay, I don't guarantee any SLA. Okay, so I need to have one more server with the same content or same web page. Then I guarantee the SLA. So at least you should have two VMs. Actually, you should have two VMs to guarantee the SLA from Microsoft. So you can see read the SLA agreement.
Both VMs, it's like mirror SM. It's like a disaster recovery.
It's not a disaster, it's a high availability, HA.
Availability. Okay. So if you're going to purchase any VM in Azure, we need to have two VMs, right? For any
Yeah,
application.
if you want to have a 99.95% uptime.
Okay.
It seems that they modified this one, so they are guaranteeing SLA now of 99.9%. Okay, and they're giving for multiple VMs 99.95%. Okay.
Okay.
So they recently added, seems to be. So for any single instance VM, and that too using premium storage. So the one which you've done is a normal storage. We'll try to cover the storage at a different time. For premium storage, they're giving 99.9%. And for virtual machines, even with it without a premium storage, they're giving you 99.95. So this is single instance with premium storage.
And regarding connectivity, how many users can connect at the same time for one virtual machine? How many users?
Let's take a step back. It doesn't depend on the Azure, depends on the Windows. Windows by default allow 2 users. It's nothing to related to Azure.
Okay.
Okay, it's a Windows one.
Okay. Got it.
If it is Linux, there is no limit actually. If it is Windows, only 2 people can connect parallelly.
say suppose in the team there are 10 people who are using who want to access, only 2 people can access at the same time, right? I mean, if they have
Uh,
the authentication.
if they want, yeah, if they want login, only two people, two parallel logins can be done.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
So when you have multiple VM, then you have the 99.95% SLA. When you have single VM, and that too with the premium storage, you'll get 99.9% of the SLA. Now let's assume that even in the uh, VM scenario, I want multiple VMs and I want to have a 99.95. I don't want to have 99.9. So because if you say 19.95 in a year, say let's say take in a month, 750 hours into 19.9 minus 750 hours, you're getting around 45 minutes downtime approximately. In a month, 45 minutes is a long number. Okay, if you go with 19.9. Okay, I don't want less SLA, I want more SLA. So if you take 19.95, 750 into 19.95 minus 750. So that's comparatively less than 10 minutes in a month. I can say less than 8 to 10 minutes in a month. Okay, so I want a very high SLA. I don't want any disruption to my system, so I require to install multiple machines with the same content or same service, so that I can get a guaranteed SLA of 99.95%. So to achieve that, or to make Azure understand that I'm trying to do both the, or I want to say that both the systems are doing same job, so I need to say something called as availability set. So I understand, let's assume I built two machines. I understand VM1 and VM2 are doing the same job, but I need to make Azure understand that they are doing the same job. Then only they will make sure that both the systems will not go down at a point of time, single point of time. So that concept is called as availability set. Availability set. So using the availability set, we are making Azure understand that the VMs are serving the same purpose and don't take them down at a single point of time. Okay, how to set this up or how to do that? So this is the additional option which we're trying to do in the additional configure additional options. So this availability set can be only be created at the build of the system. You cannot do at a later time. So when you're trying to build a machine, you need to choose the availability set. So what are the different things in the availability set? So there are two options in the availability set. So one is the planned maintenance. Second one, unplanned maintenance. So when Azure is doing planned maintenance, how you want to handle that? When your Azure is doing unplanned maintenance, how you want to handle that? Okay, let's see. Okay, so the planned maintenance is something like let's say that they are doing the patching, okay, at their host level. Okay, still I want to maintain my VM level things. Okay, something is hardware problem at the host level, then it's something like unplanned maintenance. So they call it as update domain and fault domain. The internal naming convention is update domain and fault domain. So you can, in a normal English language, you can call it as planned maintenance versus unplanned maintenance. Something is problem at the Azure level, that's a fault. When something is planned, they are trying to do some update or the patching, then that's update domain. So what we try to do is we keep two VMs in different update times and two VMs which are trying to create in different fault domains. So internally Azure will make sure that when you're trying to create in the same availability, they make sure that update domain is different and fault domain is different. So that even in the planned and in the unplanned scenarios also, your VMs, both VMs will not be down at a point of time. Okay, how to set it up? Let's see. Are you able to understand the concept before we move to the practical one?
Yeah,
Krishna? Krishna, you there? You're on mute, Krishna.
Yeah. See.
Okay, let's try to create the VM now. So I'm trying to create a VM in a availability set, and I'll create two VMs now in different update and fall domains, and we'll try to verify that. Let's see. Let me create another VM. Add a Windows Server 22R2 data center classic. So whatever is equal, we don't discuss again that in the resource manager one. If something is different, we'll again discuss that in the resource manager one. So VM6 username and password. So app2, app3, East US zone. Size of the VM. So in the optional features, so I have something called as availability set. Availability set, click on that one. Create a new availability set. So a set one. Say OK. So this you can do only during the build process. You cannot change it at later time. You need to rebuild if you want to change the availability set to other thing, and say OK. And also when you're trying to create the second VM, add to the existing availability set. Say OK. It is a deployment. So just give 2 minutes. By the time availability set will be created automatically. Let's click on this one and see the steps. Once availability set is done, I can create another VM in the same availability set. So network is created, storage is created, it's still in the process of creation. The VM domain name is created. Okay, let me check it out. Storage is created successfully. Name is created. Account is created. Network is created. Okay, computer is started creating. The VM is created, started creating. So we have given the availability set name as A set 1. Now let's try to create another VM in the same A set 1. So virtual machines. Add VM7. Username and password. So I don't create one more resource group, I use the existing resource group, app3, because they are related to each other, and EastUS2. Choose the virtual machine size. So it should be equal. Any of the optional features, go to the availability set. Instead of creating one more availability set, okay, I need to get that one, it's still not received, let's wait for a minute. I need to see the availability set available. Okay, it's not available, so I need to give some more time. If we are able to not complete today, we'll try to do that tomorrow because it will take some time to get that VM created. Still being creating. So, and let me try one more time. By chance, we got a VM6. So I'm trying to create a VM7 now. Okay. So the cloud service name, the domain name should be equal. Just go to the dot one and change that cloud service name to the existing service name, app3. Then you'll see the availability set. The A set one should be visible here. So add to the same A set one and say OK. So just see the endpoints when I select the same cloud service name, okay, the domain name. The endpoints are dynamically mapped this time, not the 338 into 338. Once I create it will be different. Let's see. Because both the systems will get only same virtual IP and say OK. Now I'm saying that both the systems are related to same A set one and don't take them down at a point of time, single point of time. Say OK. So I'm trying to submit the second system now. So both the systems I'm making Azure understand they're related to each other. So how you handle internally that the content and other things, it's up to you. But Azure doesn't care about that. But it's saying that I don't take both the systems down at a time. It's up to you how you want to make it out. Okay, we'll try to see how internally also I can handle the content in a different example at a later time. So VM6 is running. So VM7 should be starting now. Now both the systems are related to each other. We make Azure understand that using the availability set. So what I'm trying to do now is, in this picture, I'm making this cloud service to this system also. And using the availability set, I'm placing both the VMs under same availability set. So this cloud service name is shared by both the VMs. So this cloud service is shared by both VMs. Okay. Let's go back. When I go to VM6 properties, availability set, I can say that VM6 and one more is there in the availability set. So it is trying to understand both the VMs are related to each other. Okay, let me go to a simple classic portal one time. So manage.windowsazure.com is a classic portal. When you go to the virtual machines, so VM 6 and 7 are there. Click on the 6 VM. In the configure, I can say that in availability set I have the VM6 and VM7. So create and remove things. So these things are not migrated to the new portal because they're trying to remove this anyway the classic ones completely. Okay, any questions in the availability set? Why we require availability set?
Funny, so availability set is like you are putting two virtual more than one mission in one under what you call this
Cloud service.
cloud service. Okay, then developer when he connect, he will have to connect to the cloud service, and from there he will connect to the VM. How is that?
You connect to the cloud service. Forget about developer. Somebody when we want to log into VM, we connect via cloud service.
Meaning when we connect to these missions, from if I do RDP, I don't look at the IP address of VM6 and VM7.
No, I don't do that. I connect via the cloud service name.
I see. Okay. Is using the AI set one, right?
Sorry, yeah. So I'll have a cloud service name for the in the dashboard. I'll connect via the cloud service name.
Okay. So now can we connect to the from the RDP?
You will try to see that.
Okay.
Once the 7 is still building.
Oh, I see.
Okay, 6 I can still connect directly now using the cloud service name. So
So
there's a name.
once we select connect to cloud service, how do we know which mission is connected?
So we'll see that. That will come. When I see the second mission, I'll understand that
I see.
to which I'm connecting. Okay, this I'm connecting to the first mission now. Okay, once the second mission builds, we'll see that tomorrow. Okay. They're still building. It will take another 2 minutes. We'll try to see how it is connecting and how it is feasible. Then we'll try to continue from there
No problem.
tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Dinesh. We'll catch up tomorrow.
Thank you. Sure.